Have you ever felt like your mind is constantly racing, unable to find stillness even when you desperately need it? Have you ever wondered how to find deep peace, especially when your thoughts keep you awake or prevent you from focusing? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we are going to explore the calming power of Zen stories and Buddhist wisdom to help quiet your mind and find peace. Zen stories are simple yet profound, and they offer timeless insights that can help us bring clarity, calm, and mindfulness into our lives. When life feels overwhelming, it's easy to get lost in the noise of our thoughts. But Zen teachings remind us that true peace doesn't come from trying to control our thoughts. It comes from learning to observe them with mindfulness, allowing them to pass without getting caught up in them. By practicing this, we can create space for clarity, relaxation, and true stillness. Let me start with a Zen story to illustrate how this wisdom can transform our approach to the business of our minds. There was someone I will call John. John was a very active person, always on the go. He had a demanding job, a busy social life, and many responsibilities. However, despite all the activity, he often felt like his mind was a whirlwind, racing from one thought to the next. When it came time to relax or sleep, he found it almost impossible to quiet his thoughts. One evening, John met with his friend Leela, who had been practicing Zen meditation for many years. Leela had always seemed calm and centered, even when life got hectic. John shared his struggles with her. "Leela, how do you keep your mind so calm? I can't seem to quiet my thoughts, and it's affecting my peace and sleep." Leela smiled gently and shared with John a few Zen stories and teachings that had helped her navigate the business of her mind. "John, it's not about stopping your thoughts," she said. "Zen wisdom teaches us to observe our thoughts without getting caught in them. When we learn to watch them without attachment, we can find peace even in the midst of chaos." Leela then shared several Zen stories that had helped her understand the true nature of the mind and how to quiet it. Let's explore these stories and their lessons together. Zen Story 1: The Empty Boat. A Zen master once said, "If a boat is empty, it is at peace with the water. But if the boat is filled with passengers, it becomes unstable and moves around." Similarly, if your mind is full of thoughts, it becomes restless. But if your mind is empty, it remains still. This story teaches us the importance of clearing the mind. When we allow our thoughts to fill our mind, we create chaos and restlessness. But when we let go of the clutter in our minds, we create space for calmness and clarity. John began practicing this by taking a few moments each day to empty his mind. He would sit quietly, focusing on his breath, and letting go of all the unnecessary thoughts. Zen Story 2: The Moon and the Water. A student asked his teacher, "Master, how can I achieve clarity in my life?" The teacher replied, "Look at the moon reflected in the water. If the water is calm, the moon is reflected clearly. But if the water is disturbed, the reflection becomes distorted." This story illustrates that clarity comes from stillness. Our minds are like water, and our thoughts are like ripples. When we calm the mind, the reflection of clarity appears. John realized that his constant thinking was like turbulent water, distorting his sense of peace. By practicing mindfulness and letting go of unnecessary thoughts, he was able to allow the reflection of calmness and clarity to emerge. Zen Story 3: The Parable of the Finger and the Moon. A student asked a Zen master, "What is the meaning of Zen?" The master pointed to the moon and said, "The finger pointing to the moon is not the moon itself." The student looked at the master, confused, and asked, "What do you mean?" The master smiled and said, "When we focus too much on the finger, we miss the moon. Similarly, when we get too caught up in our thoughts and distraction, we miss the peace that is already present." This Zen story teaches us to let go of attachment to our thoughts and distraction. When we focus too much on the mind's activity, we miss the deeper peace and clarity that lies beneath. John realized that by getting caught up in his thoughts, he was missing the stillness that was always present. He began practicing letting go of thoughts and simply resting in the present moment. where peace and clarity naturally arose. Zen story for the sound of one hand clapping. A student asked his teacher, "What is the sound of one hand clapping?" The teacher replied, "It is the sound of silence." This story teaches us that true peace comes from silence and stillness. When we stop the mental chatter and simply rest in the silence of the mind, we find peace. John started to meditate on silence, focusing on the space between his thoughts, allowing the silence to fill his mind. This practice helped him quiet his busy thoughts and find deeper peace. Zen Story 5: The Uncarved Block. A Zen master said, "The uncarved block is the most perfect form. It has the potential to become anything, yet it is already complete." The student asked, "But how can something that is uncarved be useful?" The master replied, "The uncarved block is whole as it is. Only when we carve it do we impose our own ideas on it." Similarly, the mind is already complete, but when we fill it with thoughts and distraction, we lose touch with its true nature. This story reminds us that the mind, at its core, is already peaceful and complete. The distractions and thoughts we impose on it create the chaos. John learned that by clearing his mind and returning to the uncarved state of simplicity, he could find the peace that was always there. These Zen stories offer profound insights into the nature of the mind and how to quiet it. When we let go of our attachment to thoughts and distraction, we can return to a place of stillness and clarity. Whether you are seeking peace during a busy day or trying to quiet your mind before sleep, these teachings can help you find the calm you need. If you've been struggling with a busy mind or restless thoughts, I encourage you to try some of the practices shared in these Zen stories. Focus on the present moment. Let go of unnecessary thoughts, and embrace the silence and stillness that is already within you. By doing so, you can find a sense of peace and clarity, no matter what's happening in your life. I'd love to hear from you. Which of these Zen stories resonated with you the most? How do you quiet your mind and find peace in your life? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe for more Zen wisdom and practices that can help you live a peaceful and mindful life. Like this video to share these teachings with others who may benefit. And if you want to support the channel, consider becoming a member so we can continue creating meaningful content. Until next time, remember, this peace is not something you need to search for, it's already within you. By practicing mindfulness, letting go of distraction, and embracing silence, you can quiet your mind and find the calm you seek.